Morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Family, today is February 13th. It is 9:37 in the a.m. Today is Wednesday. I've just gotten out of the shower. This is the reason why I have my scarf and my hair pulled up because my hair is a little wet. Threw on this jumper because I just simply had to come on this morning. And, living here in Southern California, we have our share of things that go on here, just like with every other city. Okay, with every other city, the inner cities, cops, racial profiling, corruption, bad cops, all kinds of things that happen, and our children are dying at a rapid rate through senseless crimes that are taking place in the inner communities and inner cities and things. And when I tell you that Chris Dorner affected my area, my city, it was a whirlwind for the past 6 days. I guess about 6 days. I don't know. It has been crazy. When I tell you, we've been having roadblocks, we've been having, like security, sobriety checks and things. Get out the car. They looking under the car. And by me driving a truck, of course, they looking, all through the back of my Navigator. Okay, and it was crazy. And especially if you were a person of color, the men were really looked upon as, you could possibly be Chris. Now, Tony, from you guys have seen us on the show, you guys see what Tony looks like. You guys have seen what Kenny looks like. Bald-headed, thick around the edges. That's they look, And when I tell you that the men have been racially profiled out here, asked questions, looked upon crazy, all kinds of shit has happened since Chris came over and affected our city. Okay? Now, Big Bear from my home is about maybe 20 miles or so away from my house. So, being that close, you can hear the helicopters going over my house. Oh my God, when he went up to Big Bear and his car was on, he had set his truck on fire and all. Family, when I tell you, it was ridiculous out here. Okay? And this past weekend, now Kenny lives in San Bernardino. Okay? San Bernardino, we're right below the mountain. I mean, standing in my backyard, I have the full view of the mountains. I mean, it's beautiful. It's truly breathtaking. And, we don't get a lot of snow here in Southern California. But if you had the desire to have a little snow, Big Bear, Lake Gregory, Lake Arrowhead, Running Springs, all that is where you went if you had the desire for a little snow. Now, back in the day, one of the, I think it was Dunfrey, and he used to say from the desert to the sea. And I tell you what, here in California, you definitely have from the desert to the sea. Now, if you go into our local mountains, you get snow. It is a beautiful place to live. I have to say, I've traveled, I've been on cruises, I've been to Atlanta and DC and New York City and all these different places. But I have to tell you, California, I love it. I love it. This is my home, okay? You get a little bit of everything, and it's a melting pot here. Racism isn't as flamboyant as it would be, like, say, in the South and stuff like that. Not saying that it doesn't exist, but it's just not so in your face. Here, I'm subject to not even know, like the neighbors here that moved in next door. I don't know them. I don't know their name. I've never spoke to them. Now the lady that owns the house, she's a Korean lady, and she came by and when the house was empty, and she was asking me if I knew anybody that was interested in renting the home. And so, you know, and it's a beautiful house with a pool and everything, a nice house. And I told her that I didn't know anyone. And so she was saying that she was, you know, she had bought the home and she was renting it out or whatever. So the tenants that are in that house, I don't know them. They've been there now for a couple of years. We just don't, cackle and kiki with our neighbors here. Whereas I know when I stayed in Shreveport, Louisiana for about 9 months of my life, my husband was deployed to Barksdale Air Force Base. And so, and I just knew that there, the community was different. It was like people sat on their porches. They had sun tea out there. They were smoking their cigarettes. Everybody just chilled and kicked it. They barbecued together and all. It was just a family type of thing in the city. Everybody knew everybody. Here, we don't give a fuck about who. I don't know you, sir. I mean, that's just the way it is here, okay? And I have to say that when this situation happened, when all this Chris went up to the mountains, family, it has been crazy as hell here. People been acting a two-toe fool, okay? Now, over here in San Bernardino, now, let me just say this to the people that are new into my channel, that don't watch my channel. When I say the word nigga, I use it loosely. It has no racial, none of that attached to it. It's like a term of endearment here. Now, different places might use the word nigga in different situations. But here, when we say nigga, we don't use it as, you nigger. Nigger and nigga is two different things. Okay? When I say nigga, I'm talking about, I got a couple of white partners. I call them niggas too. It's like a nickname, or, what's up, homie, or what's up, dude, or, what's up, guy, or, what's up, A. It's just, and now a lot of the Hispanic kids, I've seen them use the word nigga. They call each other niggas too. So it's just the way it is here. Okay, so I don't mean it with, there's no racial epithet. I don't need nobody chiming in. Oh, she calling everybody niggas and all. Y'all know that watch my channel. That is just, it just is what it is. Okay. Either way, these niggas over here in Eureka Apartments, okay, showed their ass this weekend over this same Donner shit. Okay. Now Donner was down here in our mountains, close to everybody. So we was all tripping. We was all on red alert. You go to 7-Eleven and they looking at your ass like, what's going on? Tony went to go get me some fish. God damn it, nigga, why the cook come from the back looking at him like, who is you? I mean, it was real quick because Tony is fair-skinned. He's thick around the edges, and he's a big blockhead-ass nigga. Just like Kenny. I told Kenny, I said, if you get your milk dud ass, head ass out there, and these motherfuckers, the police and shit done question him. Because Kenny is also fully shaven, thick around the edges, blockhead, and so all of them right there, brothers was writing shit on their shirt. I am not Chris Dorner. I ain't got shit to do with old boy. Whatever he got going on ain't got shit to do with me. Brothers was just putting it out there. Look, check this out. Because the police were pulling your ass over for any and everything out here in San Bernardino. You understand me? Now, I don't live in San Bernardino. I live in an adjacent city. However, it was still the same shit because all of it is at the foothill of the mountain, the bottom of the mountain. So going up, coming down, all this whole area, Walmart was flooded. I took Isaiah to go get his, he wanted to, he didn't really want to do the cards thing, but he was still having a party at school. So I took him to Walmart, which is, oh my God, right here at the foothill of the mountain, okay? It was so many cops. I mean, it was like they were everywhere out here. And so my kids, of course, have been nervous for the past couple of days. They're like, Mommy, is he going to come down the hill? Or, what's going to happen? What's going on? I mean, it has been crazy. As a matter of fact, night before last, I had a dream of Donner. Because for the simple fact that he's inundated our whole area, the TVs, the going down the street, the police on side of the road. I mean, it has been crazy, okay? So I went to sleep with this man on my head, and I thought about him all through my sleep. Fucked me up, and I had a dream that, it ended somewhat the way it ended. And I had a dream that it was going to end soon, and I'll be damned. Yesterday, the morning after my dream, all of it came to pass. I don't know. My dreams be on some other shit. I don't know. I ain't Miss Cleo. I ain't none of that shit. But all I know is my dreams be on some other shit. It just is what it is. But either way, family, it has just been. And then, I feel a sadness for the families that have been affected. When yesterday, when he had shot those cops and things up there, the wildlife fishing game guys, and they had took them over to the very hospital that I was in. So that lets you know how close we are in proximity to everything that's going on. I was in that very hospital 6 weeks, okay? And so the hospital was just flooded with news media, Associated Press, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's just been crazy. And I just feel for the families, for the wives, for the children. My community has been affected greatly by Chris. And one thing I can say about him is the fact that he was simply going after the motherfuckers he was after. Anybody else, he didn't give a shit about you. If you were anything had to do with the police, he was firing on your ass, And when all this shit happened, black folks, we automatically, God, I hope that ain't no nigga. Woo, I hope that ain't no nigga. Woo, I hope he ain't black. Oh my God, nigga, did they say Tyrone? They said Chris. So we got action for right now. They saying his name is Chris, so we winning. But when the picture came out of that fool going into 7-Eleven or wherever the hell, ATM, wherever the shit he was on, that same very picture that they keep showing up, when he was standing outside or somewhere, they got a surveillance shot of him. They said, God damn, dog. He's a brother. He black. And it was just like, damn, I don't know what it is with us, but we do that. Because when shit is outlandish, we automatically assume that ain't what, shit, we ain't did that shit. That shit is crazy. But when it started, it started making people talk, and it started, making people really look at, the police and the police departments and the things that they do. Now, my brother is incarcerated for 45 years to life. Right now, he didn't make it to my parents' funerals or anything. He's still fighting his case. He's trying to get out. He went out on a high-speed chase. It was, all that. But do I think the man deserved to get 45 to life? He didn't kill nobody. He was a career felon. And that 3-strike shit was striking these niggas out here. Now, Chris, according to the reports, he, in a sense, kind of was blowing a whistle on some corruption that was going on in the force, that they had kicked somebody, and Kenny was saying that he remembered that. I don't totally remember it when all that was going on, but needless to say, he was going against what had happened. He was basically saying that, nah, that was some bullshit. It didn't happen the way y'all got it in the report. And no, I ain't co-signing on some bullshit. Y'all fucked up. Y'all did wrong. And there it is there. So in the interim, he ended up losing his job. Okay? So by him losing his job and, losing it, I'm certain he lost everything else he had. You know what I'm saying? So this motherfucker was bitter with the police. And he had tunnel vision with the police. And his thing was, by any means fucking necessary, I'm willing to lay down my life. And this fool was so sharp because he put these niggas on a hunt. You know, and it just, Southern California was on lockdown because of him. You know, I mean, we had to, wait a minute, what the fuck I'm seeing now? Shit. You know, I'm still kind of low-key looking around and shit. You know what I'm saying? It had everybody on high alert because he passed by my exit to get his ass up in Big Bear. He passed right by me to go to Big Bear. So hell yeah, you know, my kids and everybody else around here was like, shit, what's going on? But I tell you what, when they fucked around and said that they was getting ready to give somebody $1 million fucking dollars to turn his ass in, I said, you let me see that nigga. You let me see. You know what? I tell you what, I see that nigga, I don't give a shit. There he is right there. I done dropped all kind of dimes on your ass. For the simple fact that, you know, I don't condone you taking lives of others. You know, I don't totally sympathize. I sympathize with him on what it was that he was trying to do. He was trying to, you know, he wasn't condoning some bullshit that was going on in the force. That, you know, I can, you know, kind of give him a little bit of credit for. But when you out here and you killing innocent people that didn't have shit to do, go get them very motherfuckers. I mean, excuse me, but go get them that did it. But out here killing up innocent people and things, brother, you was wrong. You was wrong. And I felt so for his mama because they camped out at her house, his sister and them. You know, everybody was affected. You know, he did, come to find out, he did marry a woman for a minute. And I guess she was with the Sheriff Department of Los Angeles County Sheriff Department. And so, shit. You know, she pretty much disassociated herself because I guess she knew from this jump he was a fool. So it's like, it was just crazy. But to fast forward all that up and go to this weekend on how these niggas showed out, okay? Now over here in the Eureka Apartments, right over here, not too far from Kenny's house, okay? Now, these young ladies got into some form of altercation over some dude. You know it had to be a guy that these chicks was fighting over. Now, one chick, let's just say she lived in apartment 20 and the other bitches was in 33 and 27 and all that other shit. Well, anyway, those other bitches called the police on this bitch right here and said that she went up to Big Bear, picked up Chris, brought him back, was harboring this nigga in her apartment. When I tell you, you would think they was after Saddam motherfucking Hussein. Baby, they had all this shit over here blocked off. Now, mind you, I'm on the cusp, okay? So you know, I'm like right here at the Indian reservation. So I see, you know, everything is all, you know, it's real. Everything is really kind of close together. Though California is pretty much spread apart. We're not stacked on top of each other. We're kind of spread apart a little bit. But things are seemingly close together. So over there where Kenny lives, over there where those Eureka Apartments is not on his street, but it's over there by him, okay? Now, they evacuated the whole damn thing. They tore her apartment up, okay? Nigga, it was all kind of Xbox 360s and this and that and PlayStation 3 controllers and shit all out there on the ground. Do you understand me? They threw them niggas out. They threw them niggas out. When they felt like he was over there and he was harbored in them goddamn apartments, when I tell you they tore that shit up over there, they tore that shit up. And my thing was, arrest the bitches that, you know, called the police, which they did, you know. And then they had the sister on the news. You know they always put a peculiar ass nigga on the TV. I don't know what it is. They go and get the what? We don't want to talk to y'all. Y'all look like y'all went to school. Let's get this nigga back here in the back, the one that got 4 teeth in their motherfucking mouth. Let's talk to them. Cause when I tell you the folks that they had on the news talking about this right here, it was on some, you know, hide your wife, hide your kids. They whoop the whoop on everybody out here and this right. It was like that, okay? They done had the most peculiar ass motherfuckers that they could find in that apartment complex and put them niggas on the TV. And I tell you what, It was a riot. Do you understand me? Y'all need to look for that shit on YouTube. If it's on YouTube somewhere or whatever, Google that shit. That they was over here, the police had these niggas over here, and I tell you what, the ones that they had on the news talking about this right here, oh my God. It was embarrassing, okay? It was embarrassing. They was acting a two-toe-your fool. Two-toe-your fool. I mean, God, they had all, and wait a minute, but my thing is, whose Christmas tree was that? Is it not February and somebody still had a Christmas tree in their goddamn apartment? I said, oh my, because they threw all that shit out. They threw, I mean, when I tell you they was looking for him, like Bin Laden, they threw all the nigga shit out. I'm telling you, you was seeing tricycles, bikes, all kind of, listen. They threw all that shit out there on the grass. They threw all them niggas out. And it was just, it was mayhem. It was simply mayhem. It was blocked all off. The newscast, helicopter spinning. It was all that, and it was simply a hoax. These niggas was playing, you know, because they had this fight or whatever, so they guess they wanted to get this bitch right here, thinking they was going to get her locked up. No, but you got locked up for calling the police on some, you know, some asinine, some bullshit, okay? Wow. Okay, so then that had happened. Then, over here at 7-Eleven, they claim it was somebody that fit the description. It was just another big blockheaded ass, bald-headed ass nigga. Didn't have nothing to do with nothing, but they felt like he fit the description. So, right off the top, I said, Tony, sit your ass down. Kenny, sit your ass down, because at this point in time, you know, they questioned it. I mean, if you was bald-headed, fair-colored brother, your ass was getting trumped up. They had some questions to ask. You understand me? Now, if you done smoke some weed and shit, and Kenny know, you keep your high ass in the house. Cause nigga, they question everybody out here in these streets. It was crazy, family. It was bad. It was bad. My kids was nervous, you know, because my kids, they have rainbow correlation friends. They got all kinds of friends, and especially my 16-year-old. You know, he ain't into teach me how to Dougie and all that. Anthony is on some whole other shit. Anthony got Iranian partners, Chinaman partners, motherfucking, he hang with Scott Baio and all that. My son, I think out of Anthony's group, I think it's him and maybe one other one that's black. The rest of them is everything else. Everything else. My son ain't into Jordans. He ain't into none of that bullshit. All that other urban shit. He ain't into none of that. He don't know shit about no 2 Chainz, no none of that. Okay? That's my son. Okay? Now, my daughter, on the other hand, she kind of teeter-totters. You know, she got a little urban thing going. And then she has all her, but my daughter, just like me, all of my partners growing up was all Hispanic. I had a lot of Hispanic partners. Well, Tiona, she has a lot of Hispanic partners. She got, you know, and then she got some Caucasian partners. But the black ones, she probably got maybe 1 or 2 that really hang out with her. But for the most part, like, her best friend is Hispanic. Just like her mama. My best friend was Hispanic. So, you know, we're not prejudiced people. Okay? You know? But Isaiah, on the other hand, he on some whole other shit. This nigga phone done broke. You know, he ain't but 12 years old, and he's so urban, it's ridiculous. I mean, Cat Daddy, all that bullshit that be going on, 2 Chainz, this, that. Isaiah is on top of all that, okay? He is all the way on some, I want some Jordans, I want this right here. He is on all that, okay? But, family, anyway, enough about my kids and everything. They're having Michael Crane's funeral services in Riverside right now. And this is just so sad. It is sad that this man, I mean, he just, oh my God. Yesterday, when all this came down, I was telling Jody on the phone, I said, you know what? This is this man's last day. You know? It's his last day. Ain't no way in the world I'll get in satisfaction on killing my ass. Because all that we want to, you know, stand trial. It was never going to be no damn trial. let's go on and say that shit right now. He done knocked off all these cops and things. He done shook up the whole force. He got the Cochran firm looking into this shit right now. They trying to figure out, okay, let's get to the bottom line on who the hell was really kicked and what really happened. Right now, they're investigating all that shit on all his claims on what the hell he did. And he was smart as hell because he went all the Anderson Cooper. He done reached out to all kind of motherfuckers. You know, trying to tell his story and shit. So he knew he was a dead man walking from the start. He knew that he was going to go out in a casket. He knew that. But as I was telling Jody yesterday, when these cops and shit was flying up and down my damn street, you know, and everybody heading back up to Big Bear because now they're saying now that he, you know, had some folks tied up and shit. Now, about that tied up shit, too, that he did yesterday. You know, now, once again, okay, I'm no way prejudiced and none of that other shit, okay, but didn't from the start they said they was going to give $1 million, and then yesterday, I think Monday or one of them days, they upped the ante up to, somebody else added another 100,000 onto the $1 million that they was giving, you know, for, you know, pointing as a reward for pointing the police in the direction of him or whatever the case, you know. Now, everybody know, especially motherfuckers that live in the inner cities and things, when you done something of this magnitude, nigga, you ain't living. They ain't finna waste no taxpayers' money and putting your ass in jail and going through court and you appealing things and all that old type of shit. And by the time they do try to execute his ass, it would have been 10 years down the line on some Snooki type, Tookie William type shit. So then therefore, ain't no way in the world this man was going to ever, you know, go down and go out like that. He wasn't going to. Because he would have upset the whole jail system. Because that nigga would have been up in that motherfucker like he's Mayor Tom Bradley. You understand me?